Hello, fourth graders. Miss Lockhart here. Let's get started on our crystal drawing. So you should have your paper, a pencil, and a ruler or a straight edge of some kind. You can fold a piece of paper in half if you don't have a ruler, and that straight edge on the paper will work just fine. I'm using a darker pencil so you can see my lines a little bit better. You do not need to use a dark pencil. Okay, so I'm going to start by making a diagonal line. There will be a lot of diagonal lines, and you can see I showed you that piece of paper you could also use if you don't have a ruler nearby. My paper is horizontal. If you see, it's wide. And I'm going to do a diagonal line that's just about 3 or so inches, maybe 4 inches. And these are all going to look different, so your lines can be a little shorter, a little more diagonal. And here I am going to do a smaller one on the left, and a longer line, which is a little more vertical and less diagonal in the middle. And then it's going to kind of lean to the right as I go over to the right hand side. See how the left leans to the left? I'm going to do another diagonal line there. Like I said before, you can change yours a little bit once you understand how we'll make them look like a crystal. You can add and change. So I'm going to be making points. And to do that, I like to put a little dot where I want the top of the point. You can see in the middle there I had to do it right on the edge of the paper. Okay, so I'm going to connect the first lines that I drew to the dot with another line. And you will end up doing that on both sides so that you will make a point. Notice I'm still using my ruler. We do want to get a nice straight line. Okay, and then I'll connect that. Okay, so you continue the process and continue to make points at the top of the first lines you drew. And now you can kind of see if you wanted to do more crystals, you could always add some to the side. We'll be adding some at the bottom too. Okay, cool. Next step. So I'm going to be drawing a line down the middle between, I'm going to call it an A-frame. It's like an A without the line in the middle. So I'm going in the middle of that A-frame, and I want my line to come past that line. So if it were a triangle, we want that middle line to go past the bottom of the triangle. Now I will erase that line. I was just showing you how to sort of see the triangle and how to go past that line. So see here, I went past that bottom triangular line. That's invisible. And again, made that middle line a little longer. And there it is, last one. So this is how we're making the different facets or different sides of the crystal top. So now I will be connecting that middle line to the corner of the A-frame or the invisible triangle. So you see how it's beginning to look three-dimensional, like a geometric form? Okay, so yes, continue to connect the outside points of that A-frame triangle shape to the middle line. And you can see why it's nice to have the middle line longer, because it makes the sides of the point a little bit bigger. I'll be showing you a variation of this in a moment in the next drawing in case you wanted to add more facets or sides to the top point. Okay, the next step is to connect the middle line down and try to keep it somewhere in between the middle of the two lines on either side. You see, I'm trying to keep it slightly in the middle. If it's not perfectly in the middle, that's okay. See how that one, smaller side on the left, but that'll be okay. So you just bring down the middle line from the point. It doesn't have to meet the other lines. You'll see we're going to make triangles here at the top. Now I'm not using a ruler because these are shorter lines. It's a little easier to control if it's straight. You can still use a ruler though if you want. So I'm going to be doing that to each of these. I'm making like a point, triangle top there. This is going to make the bottom look kind of like it has little crystals or little rocks at the bottom. like growing out of that part. Okay, just similarly as before, you're going to bring down the line and make it have two sides. Do you see how it's kind of like a diamond shape and then you have a line down the middle? And this can be different too, everybody. These little crystals at the bottom that your big crystals grow out of can really look like anything. You could even use curved lines if you want an experiment. So I'm bringing these down a little, and then now I'm just kind of having fun and creating a design that works for my small points. Your small crystals might be different. So you can create other diagonal lines that connect to the bottom. Do you see how I connected it all to kind of like a bottom area? Like it's kind of got it's a slightly curved line at the very bottom, and that's it. So that's the crystal form, and you can change yours and add more or subtract and erase. And I'm gonna definitely erase some of the marks that I don't want, that you can see were just part of the sketch. And then, to make any form or object look like it has weight and form, you want to give it a shadow. And it also gives it a place on the table or wherever it's sitting. Cool. So this is just the sketch. I'm going to make that shadow, and then I'm going to do a few little hatch lines. Great. And that is where my light source is. You don't have to draw a little circle there, but I like to show you on the left-hand side is the light source, because that's why the shadow is then on the right side, because you would not see the light on the right-hand side. There would be a shadow created from the form. Okay, so this is essentially the drawing. I'm going to show you a variation in the next drawing. You don't have to do two drawings. I just kind of wanted to show you another way to do it. And then you'll be outlining your pencil crystal drawing once you decide that you like it and you're finished with your sketch. Oh, and there's one more thing we should do to make our crystal look grounded. Make it look like it's sitting on a surface. Give it a horizon line. Notice I did use my ruler for that because that is kind of a longer horizontal straight line. And I skipped over the crystal because the horizontal line is behind the crystal. So, okay, let me show you a second variation. You do not need to rush to go get another piece of paper. You can just watch if you've already done one and see if you want to change yours or not. It's totally up to you. So same steps as before. I'm doing some diagonal lines, and they kind of lean to the left on the left side and lean to the right on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and put a point where I want the top of my point to be, and I'm going to just kind of draw some lines without a ruler to show you quickly a different way. And you can also see what happens when you don't use a ruler. They're not perfectly straight, but they're not the worst lines either. Okay, so there you go. I brought down the middle line again, and it's longer than the passes the invisible triangle line at the bottom, and then connect it to the sides. Same steps. Now here's the variation. You can add another line in the middle so that you would have two, and then you can connect those two. And do you see now? I have three facets or faces on that third point to the right. So you can experiment if you like doing these kind of geometrical drawings. It's really fun, and try doing three facets if you like. The only difference in the step is that you would be bringing down two lines instead of one. You can see that crystal on the right looks a little bit bigger, and it looks like it's just got more, more sides to it. And I'm doing the same thing as before, just kind of doing a zigzag line, connecting the lines at the bottom. Bring down a middle line between those so those crystals have little faces or facets too. Okay, and so yeah, the bottom is, again, it's up to you. You just want to bring your zigzag line and those big three triangles at the top to one place at the bottom. And here's a shadow. And here's my horizon line. Okay, so there's a second variation. You'll need to make sure you erase the pencil lines you don't want, and then outline it in a black marker. Or if you don't have a black marker, you could even use a black pen. Okay, so you can see the difference in the two drawings. The next portion of my video for you today is me outlining. You will see that I do continue to use my ruler when I outline in my black marker. It's a Sharpie. I want to make sure that when I'm outlining, I have straight lines, because otherwise you might be disappointed if you are using a permanent marker or any black marker. If you make a mistake, you can't erase it. So make sure you use a ruler, and you'll see it's sped up just a bit because you will be outlining at your own pace. I just want to show you how I use the ruler to really make sure it's lined up correctly. And if you make a little mistake, that's fine too. We will be using shading and color value to make this crystal look even more three-dimensional next week. So this week we're just getting our drawing ready. And you'll see here when I'm outlining, I've changed a few things. See how I didn't quite make it over that pencil line. That's okay, I just went with it. So I had to make sure I'm connecting it in a new place if I changed my line with the black marker. So you can adjust things and change things to your liking, and like I mentioned before, you can add different crystals, you can try different things. Just wait to color it for next week so I can give you some good pointers and instructions on how to really use color value to make it look three-dimensional. It'll be really pretty too. We're going to mix different colors together with color pencils. So I hope you're excited about next week, and I hope you enjoyed our drawing today. I love drawing geometric crystals, and it's a really great way to practice shading. It's a fun drawing. And if you liked it, try more. Try a different one. Well, thanks everybody for your participation and trying your best and learning from home. Please reach out if you have any questions about this drawing or just any questions. You can always message me in Schoology. I'm so proud of you guys for working hard at home. Cannot wait to see you again someday and make some art with you. Okay, well, before I say bye, I better point out that I am erasing the pencil lines that I did not trace over. Look how much nicer it'll look after you erase the lines that didn't get traced. It'll really look finished. Well, the lines will look clean and finished, but it's not quite finished because we're going to color it. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. I will talk to you next week. Goodbye.